Hey, thank you for checking out a short devotion. I'm starting a new series called Peter the Padawan for you Star Wars fans. That's simply someone who is learning from the Master. And all of these devotions will be moments in Scripture where Jesus was either affirming Peter or teaching Peter a lesson. And today we're going to kick things off, not necessarily from a scripture story, but from a TV show based on a scripture story. And it starts with an actual scripture from Isaiah 55, verse 8. It says, "My thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord." And that reminds me of a scene from this TV show called The Chosen. Matter of fact, the artwork on the cover clip art is from that TV show, The Chosen. I highly recommend it. It's done very, very well. And in this particular scene, Jesus is getting ready to call Matthew to join him as an apostle, as a disciple. And when they slow down and Jesus turns his attention to Matthew and calls his name and gets his attention for the first time, the disciples are definitely confused. And Peter actually interrupts the master and said, "Jesus, do you know who this guy is?" And Jesus said, "Yeah, I know exactly who he is." And he calls him to join them. He says, "Come follow me." And Matthew shuts down shop, gives his keys and his authority to the Roman soldiers there. And he was heading towards Jesus, and Peter was like, "What are you doing? I don't get this." And Jesus said, "Peter, you didn't get it when I called you either." And Peter said, "But this is different. This dude is a tax collector." And then here's the moment. Jesus looks at him and says, "Get used to difference." I love that quote. It's probably my favorite quote in the entire first season, and I love it for two reasons. First of all, I love it because it fills me with thankfulness. I think about all the times that I was not chosen, all the times that I felt left out. I think about multiple examples or experiences throughout life that I felt unimportant, or I felt alone, or unwanted, or unworthy. But then when I encountered Jesus, he called me to follow him. He wanted more of me, not less of me. Jesus knew my value because he was my creator, and only your creator is qualified to tell you what you're worth. He knew my purpose even better than I did. He fills me with that purpose. He fills me with that significance. And he offers me redemption rather than condemnation. No matter how many times I fall short, he calls me to get back on my feet again and serve him in a fresh way. This is the kind of different that I am grateful for, because it leads me to say goodbye to self-pity and to say hello to endless thanksgiving for what he has done for me and what he has called me to. But the second part of get used to different is very humbling. It's very convicting because it teaches me that I need to get used to treating some people differently than I have in the past. People that maybe I would normally avoid, or people that I would be tempted to overlook. I need to get used to treating them different. Now, you would think that as many times if I've experienced rejection, many times that I have felt left out, that I would be more sensitive to certain people in my life that I avoid, or certain people who maybe other people reject, that I would be more sensitive or more empathetic to what they're going through. But the truth of the matter is, I'm not drawn to them. I'm drawn to people who make me laugh. I'm drawn to people who make me feel good. I'm drawn to people who are supportive of me and that they have something to offer me, and that we have stuff in common. These are the people I'm drawn to. But Jesus says, get used to different. He has called me to reach out to people who maybe don't have much to offer, or at least they may have a lot to offer, but I just think that they don't have much to offer. He's called me to treat people differently that I would normally avoid or normally reject. He's called me to reach out and to love people who make bad choices on purpose. He's called me to reach out and minister to people who may not appreciate it. They may not appreciate my time. They may not appreciate my kindness. He's called me to reach out and love maybe even people who do not even like me. He's called me to reach out and to love and to minister to people that may make my life more stressful instead of making my life more pleasant. He's called me to reach out and minister to those that perhaps normally I would avoid. And he called me to approach people differently than I'm used to. And then he tells me that I need to remember that he treated me differently. That's why I need to get used to different. And I need to get used to the different ways he's now calling me to serve. Thank you for tuning in and checking out this short devotion. If you got something on your mind you want to talk about or pray about, please feel free to reach out to us here at First Baptist Honey Path. We'd love to hear from you.